Death by bear attack is a very rare way to go. Backpacker reported that in 2021 there were only 5 deaths by bear attack in North America. In fact, the article states it is more likely that you would die of a bee sting than by a bear mauling. Yes, it is rare, but it also terrifying. When you learn about some of the deadliest bear attacks in history, you also may want to just closet yourself into a highly urbanized area. Picture yourself in the heart of the wilderness, where the line between predator and prey blurs. As we journey through the chilling accounts of the deadliest bear attacks in history, brace yourself for tales that will send shivers down your spine and make you question the true extent of nature's raw power. Join me on this harrowing exploration into the untamed realm of the wild. Imagine getting fired from your job. But what about if you not only got fired, but then on your way out the door, you got mauled to death? That is exactly what happened to the unfortunate Thomas Earl, a zookeeper at the Cleveland Brookside Zoo. The New York Times reported that on July 8, 1932, Earl, for getting kind of smart, had received his walking papers. He apparently was to finish his day, and one of his tasks was feeding a normally peaceable 900-pound Russian brown bear named Sunshine. Perhaps Earl had a bad attitude since he had just been sacked, and Sunshine sensed it. Earl entered the pen to feed Sunshine a breakfast of carrots, bread, and raw meat, and tried to force the bear into a concrete pit. Just then, the bear drew itself up, grabbed at Earl with one claw, and raked him with the other. Another keeper, Edward Hagen, came running to help, but found that Earl had locked himself in. Hagen jabbed the bear with an iron bar through the bars to get it off the victim, but Sunshine just dragged a screaming Earl deeper into the enclosure. Other keepers batted at the bear with rakes, but a conclusion only came as a law enforcement deputy fired 5 pistol shots into Sunshine. The bear dropped dead on top of Earl. The autopsy showed that Earl was shot twice, though he was already dead by the time the bear was killed. What if a bear mauled you but nobody could hear you scream? This is what evidently happened to 50-year-old trapper Rudolph Geyer in the wilderness outside Anchorage, Alaska in 1952. The register guard reported that in December, his corpse was found in his cabin on his blood-soaked bed. A dead black bear laid close at hand. Investigators believe that what happened was an epic, albeit unseen, struggle. In what would have been a nightmare, even for the most hardened of backwoodsmen, the black bear had broken into the cabin late at night. Geyer then threw a lantern at the animal and leapt out a window before shooting back through the door to kill the bear. He then looked inside to see if it was dead. Yet before the animal ultimately expired, it made one last attack at Geyer, clawing him. The trapper then stumbled to his bed where he apparently bled to death. The most impactful bear attack was the so-called Night of the Grizzlies. As Smithsonian details, in the darkness of the early morning of August 13, 1967, grizzly bears attacked and killed 2 19-year-old girls, Julie Helgeson and Michelle Coons, at Glacier National Park in Montana in separate attacks. In both cases, the victims had been in sleeping bags and dragged off to be mauled to death. This tragedy was in many ways caused by humans. Outside Online explains that until the incident, no grizzly had ever killed a human in the park. However, over the years, visitors would leave garbage about or even actively feed the bears. As a result, the animals lost their fear of humans. It was a short step toward making them a prey item. A popular book on the incident, Night of the Grizzlies, predicted that the Bruins would be eradicated from the lower 48 states. However, instead of eradication, parks tried to put into practice better bear management practices, including installing bear-proof garbage cans, separating cooking areas from sleeping areas, hanging steel cables to hang food, and installing strict practices to prohibit feeding and interacting with bears. Still, park rangers were averse to bears, and in the years that followed, killed many more bears than what was necessary. By 1975, only 136 bears remained in Yellowstone. Since then, bears have come back, and better practices have led to less bear attacks. One of the most tragic bear fatality incidents occurred in the Yukon in November 2018. According to the CBC, Valerie Théoret and her partner Gjermund Roosholt had gone to the Yukon to trap as a matter of a holiday with their 10-month-old daughter while she was on maternity leave. According to the later investigation, the mother and daughter had gone out for a walk while Roosholt was checking trap lines. It was while they were walking that the mother and baby were ambushed by an emaciated 18-year-old grizzly who was looking for any food since it did not have enough fat reserves to hibernate. What is more, the grizzly had even eaten a porcupine to prevent starvation, which may have been causing it considerable pain. Teore and Rosholt were both good at acting proactively to not attract bears. No food was left out, and the campsite was absolutely clean. Sadly, the starving bear attacked and killed Teore and her daughter. Rosholt discovered the bodies at about 3:05 p.m. and shot the bear dead. Gordon Hitchcock, Yukon's chief conservation officer, stated, "To say that the victims were in the wrong place at the wrong time sounds trite, but our investigation shows that more than anything else, this was an unfortunate tragedy, and that little could have been done to prevent it." Thanks for watching. If you would love to see part 2 of the deadliest bear attack in history, drop a comment and don't forget to subscribe and like this video.